says meeting, and then you can scroll down to record.
All right, well, we're recording on this one. Did you find it, Isabella?
I'm trying to find it. Oh, duh. Good God. It was right there. It's like,
Sweet.
there we go. We got it.
Awesome. So then maybe if anybody else is going to watch it, we give ourselves a brief introduction so people know who is talking as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Just so, Hi, everybody who is not us three or us three. I'm Tiana. I make, I guess, YouTube videos sometimes, but that's not just me, but I'm just Tiana. And yeah, we're doing some solution raising.
Okay, great.
Whoever wants to take over.
Well, I'm Isabella. I do a lot of YouTube for Anti-MLM and then beauty, fashion, and lifestyle. Just kind of a hot mess in one place, really. I'm 20 years old and I'm ready to use the rest of my life to keep doing good. So there we go.
Oh yeah, sorry to piggyback off that, you guys. I'm gonna be 27 tomorrow.
Oh, dang! Well, good for you, Queen. No, you don't look 20. What?
Really young, right?
You don't at all.
Well, and then I'm Amber. I just started my YouTube anti-MLM stuff like earlier this spring, but I've been really vocal about it for about 2 years. I've done a lot of stuff over on Facebook ever since I got out of Beachbody, and so I just talk about a lot of anti-MLM stuff. I talk about my 2 rare diseases, fashion for curvy gals, and I feel like the old woman here because I'm going to be 33 in December. So
again, you don't look like it at all. Like
you definitely don't. Sweet. Well, that's really exciting. I'm excited to have you ladies here today. So Jubilee normally leads these things, and she's given me the reins. So we will see. I'm like, let me get the Google Doc back up. Let's see where to go. But okay, so the first 15 minutes are talking about what MLMs currently look like right now. So maybe I'll just pop my little timer on and we'll go 5 minutes each and kind of talk about what we see MLMs looking like right now, like what that kind of picture looks like and whatnot. But maybe we'll go 3 minutes each because I know she put us for 50 minutes and then we kind of took a little bit of the time. So people kind of know. So maybe Amber, if you want to start, or you turned away if you want, or Isabella, if you want to start. No, you got it?
I was just trying to find my door because I have 3 kids and they're like, what? And my husband's supposed to be out there wrangling them, but he's watching football. So
oh yeah, that's what my roommate was gonna do. I was like, please, I'm filming. So yeah, what do you think the state of MLMs look like right
now? Really, I mean, I think a lot of them to me are kind of looking desperate because there's just so many people that they are bringing in to the businesses. And when they say, oh, it's not oversaturated, like there's not these many people in this certain market or in this business, like they're lying, because there is so much. Like if your employee number is like 332,496, that should tell you that like it's oversaturated. And if there's probably no chance of you getting up to that higher level like the person who's trying to recruit you is telling you. So that's what I'm seeing. And a lot of them are, at least a lot of the Huns that I see on social media they're really getting desperate. Like they're trying anything and everything to try to recruit people right now, especially during the pandemic. So
yeah. How do you feel like the pandemic has shaped the current state of MLMs? Another minute, 30 seconds. So I want to give you the
time. Really, I mean, they're really trying to take advantage of the fact that a lot of people have been laid off or they've, been out of work, or they're trying to appeal to people that are, say, in an essential job that are out there and who are, you know, dealing with the public. Or, you know, my husband's a physician. He deals with COVID patients every day. They're trying to, you know, wrangle in nurses and other sorts of hospital employees or healthcare employees. And they're really trying to appeal to them that, you know, they don't have to be out there doing this. They could do something else, but not really, you know, giving the truth, in that they're not going to be successful at this. So they're encouraging these people to leave their, you know, very safe and stable jobs to try to take a chance on this, and not giving them all of the facts. You know, we always say, look at the income disclosure statements, but I know when I got recruited to be a Beachbody coach, like I was never shown an income disclosure statement. Like, so I had no idea.
Mm-hmm. That is something to think about. I agree. Isabella, anything to go off of, or should I go? I can go. I've got some thoughts off of what you said.
Hey, if you have them, I was just taking notes on my phone because like my memory is absolutely terrible. So like if you have thoughts, go for it.
So kind of piggybacking, I guess, off of leaving the stable job and kind of going and targeting these people. You know, I think that's a lot of these people, I mean, these people are smart people. So it's not like, you know, it's like, you want to be like, oh, okay, you know, how does a nurse end up selling, I don't know,
Arbonne
shakes and
Arbonne.
whatever,
Yeah.
Arbonne shakes. And it's like,
Yeah.
really, you know what I mean? And so it's like you do, it's like you want to be like, okay, people are smarter than this, but it's not even about people being smarter than that. It's about trusting somebody and leaning on a friend and believing those things that they say when they say, like, you know, okay, hey, like, we could spend more time with our family, you know, like because that person has that connection, they can name people in your family, or they can use your kids to entice those
Yeah, they pull you
put
in.
that
Yeah.
emotional value into things, as opposed to just an advertisement on the street isn't saying your kids' names and isn't telling you could provide the world to your 2-year-old, your 3-year-old, your 4-year-old if you put in the time now into this, into whatever it is. And I think that it's like it's the way that they leverage people's hopes and dreams, that like really it's like whatever job you have, whatever you were doing, whatever before, like there's one video I did, you guys, there was a girl who was like, she's going to be hanging up her Arbonne certificate in her, like her law degree in her Arbonne office. And I was like, what? You know, like, what? You know, like you have a law, you would opt like your law degree, like for the Arbonne. So it's like it's like this trickery of like this dream. It's like, it's not even it's so not the product. It's so not the product. And that's what people so fail to understand too about like MLM. Yeah. Is like, it doesn't matter what the product is. It literally does not, it could be this, that, the other. It's the way that people sell the dream around this structure. So I don't know. That's kind of how I always see MLMs. It's like, it's just always a constant sell of the dream. And that's why I feel like there's that desperation again too, because like, if you don't have what you're trying to sell, you have to look like you have what you're trying to sell too. So it's trying to be like, I got this and I'm flashy. Yep. And don't you want to go on another free trip paid by them? And we're going here and I've got my caddy, or we've got the Lexus, or whatever it is. It's like, you know, like not normally people like, we don't care. You know what I mean? Like normally people don't need to share all of that stuff all the time. Like it's cool if like you've made a big girl purchase and say it's your first car and you want to share it and it's really exciting, but like to constantly be like, you could have this caddy too. Do you want the keys to it's like, what? You know what I mean? Like, what are you guys doing? So I don't know. That's kind of like where what like I'm thinking is like, yeah, it's just selling the dream. But
my upline called that the designing your own life. It's
okay.
Don't you want to design your own life? That's how what she would like tell us to, you know, how she would tell us to talk to people. You know, you can design your own life and be at home with your kids and be your own boss, and you know, create your own schedule and routine and da 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 da. And it was a lie.
Wow, that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Ella, your thoughts?
Well, honestly, with everything you guys said, I completely agree with, we're seeing, I think, a big change with MLMs. Like when my relatives, my grandmas, or like my mom were in MLMs back in the day, there wasn't as much of a growth in like social media or conversations about this. But now I think though, we're suddenly transitioning into a whole entire world of people are actually visibly seeing the oversaturation, the complete BS that's being shared on social media, the people that have gotten screwed over. It's kind of come to the point where they're like, oh, we have to find ways to make this look better. Otherwise, we're going to start losing people. And it's not working out for them at all. And yeah, they're trying to keep on talking about, oh, flash sales, or we have great products. They're just a filler. And again, people are kind of starting to pick up on that. So I think it's dying, but in a sense, it's not completely dying. Like there's always a new MLM popping up, which is bad, but there's other larger ones that people are labeling as negative right now. So yeah, they're getting kind of desperate. They're trying to do anything they can. Like any Instagram reels I look on now, because like I do focus on MLM stuff just to kind of watch the trends of what they're doing. But most of the time it's talking about trying to debunk what all of us say about MLMs and how bad they are. They're trying to say, oh no, we're just fine. You know, we sell out this and that. They try to find anything to make it look like it's a good deal when it's just not. So that in a sense also is just showing how desperate they are with, I mean, everything. It's bad. It's a mess.
Yeah. Kind of piggybacking also off of you saying, like they're losing people at a tremendous amount. So I highly suggest, there's this article, it's called The Main Street Bubble, and I did the stupid whatever partial there's so much stuff in this, you guys, but like the way that this system works is essentially like this, like that he calls like the MLM structure, like he calls it the Main Street Bubble, similar to like the Wall Street. I don't even know. But it's like constantly it's this flow of people leaving, never making money, and then an influx of new people, a flow of people leaving and an influx of new people. So you actually never have a stable like workforce or like the same people. It's constant new people flowing in to maintain this
Exactly.
financial structure that exists. But like if new people stopped coming in, there actually wouldn't be any sales. Like if they constantly didn't keep getting new sales people, there would be no sales, because the people who are the sales people are the ones who are buying the product, but like they fail to see this little feedback loop that they're a part of. And it's like, you guys, like when they're like, oh my God, we sold out of like one of those flash sales in 4 hours. It's like, cause all of you guys bought it.
Man, you and your downline did that. This isn't just the average Joe is buying this stuff.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, we have about like 1 minute. Anybody final thoughts on, like the state of MLMs right now? I know we kind of briefly touched on coronavirus, but that's just a whole other ballpark.
With what you were actually talking about with like the whole filtering, there's actually, I've been noticing this too, a bunch of people that used to be like really up high in MLM, suddenly they're like, I'm out. And I'm like, why did you leave suddenly? So I'm wondering again, if some of these higher ups are getting out, then what the hell is going on behind scenes also to make them leave? Why would they leave such stable income?
What do they know? Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you. Right. What do they know? I want to know.
Like really, really fast right now at Unique. It's really weird, but they're going to smaller ones. That's the thing too, is I've noticed some of these ones are going to smaller ones because they know, and then they're poaching their whole downlines. And like, they know that, like, even just the thought of that is just so unethical. But I don't know.
That's what happened. That's what made me questioning things. Like in 2017, Beachbody changed their rules to where that you could not like sell for another MLM company. Like either you were just a Beachbody coach, or if you wanted to be part of, Unique or LuLaRoe or something else, then you had to choose. And a whole bunch of people left. A whole bunch of the higher up people left, and like a lot of them went to Prove It, to the ketone company.
I didn't heard of that one that you.
Yeah, and it was like, and Prove It was like just like brand new, like at that time. So a lot of those top Beachbody coaches left, and they took their whole teams with them.
Damn.
Yeah. And then I was like, and that's when I really started questioning it.
Yeah, no, poaching, it's a huge thing. That is wild. So I guess now we kind of like have talked about like what we see MLMs looking like now. The next point is like, where would we like to see MLMs in the future? Like what would a future say, if we were to have MLMs, or maybe if we weren't to have it, whatever your future would look like around MLMs, like what would you hope to see? So maybe let's go backwards this time around, and we'll start with Isabella.
Okay, yeah. I love this concept, and ultimately, of course, you want these gone. However, I mean, as we kind of come to realize, there's horrible business practices constantly. We can't get rid of everything. However, I think a slow progression to having certain laws and regulations put in will progressively make it difficult, because I mean, for example, like with Monet, they're struggling with some areas because they keep getting in trouble with the FTC or you name it, all because of little things they're messing up on. So if we crack down with just the little bit here and there as we progressively move on in the future, I think that would help out a lot. Because yeah, we can't get rid of everything, I know that, but to try and find ways of making to our businesses have no other choice but to be more ethical is kind of the way to go. I don't know how to go about that necessarily, but that's definitely the goal for sure. That's what I want.
Mm-hmm. And so is there any type of law or regulation or anything that you could think of specifically that you would put into place? Or is there any type of specific, like demographic that you would like to specifically target? Or like, is there any type of like movement that you feel like would help, I don't know, create this? I think that's actually the question for the next one. So don't answer like what kind of actions you want to take around it. Don't answer that.
Okay.
But more, I'm just trying to, generate more, more thought around the future of MLMs. If there was going to be any type of restriction around them, or any type of law or anything you could put into place, like what would that look like for you?
Oh goodness, that's a good question. I think, okay, especially restrictions on their claims on products, I don't think that is stressed enough. I mean, we've seen the FDA kind of crack down on some MLMs, but they're really free with how they claim things. And if we do that, again, it maybe might push people from thinking that product is genuinely good. If like the FDA is cracking down hard on them, saying, no, this sucks, this actually is causing more harm than good, I think that would generate even maybe possibly like preventing people from actually getting in to the MLM, because like, well, those products aren't good, I can't sell it. You know what I mean? That would be one way I think that could potentially help, is not about just the business practices, but again, something small, like maybe the products. So that way, if they're struggling with promoting products and they need those products in order to be legally considered not a pyramid scheme, kind of screwed over there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Amber, any thoughts?
I think I definitely want to see them be required to be more transparent about like their income and what people are actually expected to make, because as we see all the time, they're not. They make all these claims, they'll make a TikTok or a reel on Instagram, and that then at the very end they'll like flash the income disclosure statement,
the blurred page.
and like I want the companies themselves and their distributors or whatever to have to like lay it, like I want it all laid out for someone to easily understand. This is what you're expected to make, this is how much money you could lose if you invest this much, this would be your return on investment. Because like, as you were saying, Isabella, like your mom and grandma were involved in them. My mom was in like 8 different ones growing up. Mm-hmm. So for me, like I just thought that was normal, which is how I kind of fell into it. So I want them to have to be more transparent. If someone's trying, like if I was still a Beachbody coach and I was trying to recruit somebody, like I would have to send them a document with everything laid out. And if I didn't, then I'd get in big ass trouble for it, because I don't want any more vulnerable people like me or my mom or anyone else that I know to get sucked into this. Like, I want them to know like everything going in so they can make a very conscious and very like weighed decision on it, you know, pros and cons. So
Absolutely.
100% agree with you. So my thought process with this is kind of going higher, because one of the things that you touched on is that all of these girls should have to show their income disclosure statement. But you know, some of these companies, they're not even legally required to make and or have these income disclosure statements. And I think we have to start by cracking down legally on the way that these companies can make their commission plans, can make their recruitment structures, certain things that they're not allowed to do, like certain, I don't know, like numbers of levels of commissions and payouts. And I think like, what did I take notes on? Yeah, I think like the payout plans and like the laws and the rules around their recruitment structure is where like they would fail the test every time. Like if we actually said, okay, you guys all need to produce how much you have in retail sales, legitimate retail sales, not in distributorships, not in, you know, these weird little VIP memberships, not in secret plans to get extra discounts, none of that crap. Specifically buying the product because somebody wants the product. Give me that number. And I guarantee you, these companies can't produce. They cannot produce. Exactly. And if we actually start to, if we, you know, I think like one of the big things is we need to hold our politicians accountable, because they are the ones like I'm sorry to like, I don't want to paint a party quite specifically to this MLM issue, but the Republican Party is the biggest backer of the multi-level marketing industry and the direct sales industry. And you know what? There's some shady mother effers in my personal opinion. I just don't like, I'm not saying like, ooh, the Democratic Party is amazing, but I'm just saying like when it comes to making laws and things out of our own self-interest and doing things that are going to benefit us and our party, and like it just they're the only party that backs MLMs to the extreme that they do.
100%.
That if we like, not to get all political here, but you know, if we are able to flip the House, we're able to flip the Senate, if we have these next few years in front of us where we say have maybe a Democratic electorate who isn't in favor of MLMs and they don't have the majority in party, and we can say create these political activist groups and align ourselves with the right people and push and lobby and create a lobby group that can, I mean, the DSA, they've got a lot of freaking money, you know what I mean? Like they got a lot of freaking money, but they're in the pockets of these politicians. But if these politicians don't sit in office, then they're not in their pocket anymore. And if you have somebody that cares about like morals and values, they don't take money from people like that, hopefully. So that is kind of like my hopeful goal, I think, for the future as far as targeting like what could we see from the future is like, I would love to see not just them getting a letter from the FTC to be like, you guys, your ladies are out saying this crap again. You know, it's like, okay, why are your ladies saying this crap? What are you guys doing to address it? Is anything going to change? Like, I think we just really need to get at the root, and it starts with the laws and the legislation and all of that stuff from like, you know, like what do they say? It's like the fish stinks from the head down. So, that's kind of like, that stuff, you know, gets me rowdy because it's like I love trashing on Huns, like not I love trashing on Huns, but you know what I mean, like it's fun to make fun of a Hun for doing Hun stuff, and it's like, you know, like you guys shouldn't be saying all this unethical crap, and like we absolutely should continue to hold them accountable at every step of the way. But I also think this anti-MLM movement that initially started, I don't think anybody's thinking about this stuff. Like, I don't think people want to, like, I think, and maybe some people were right, like maybe it did start as like a wave or like a thing or like a trend, but it's not a trend. It is a political movement. I think it is a political movement, and it's got to be done politically if we really want to make a difference.
I still agree with that, honestly. I mean, yeah, I think what's so great about this movement is it's still new. You know what I mean? Like we're still manifesting and growing. Like when I started this, I had no idea that this existed. I was like, you know, I'm going to make a video and we'll see. And I was like, oh, there's a community. This is awesome. And now there's other people that are like growing, and then they're gaining subscribers, and there's more views, and there's more conversations. And I think that we have so much time to mature, so we could make a massive impact in several years. Just because I mean, I think a lot of us know too, if there's a lot of ruckus, people start paying attention. And there's a lot of people generating conversations saying, this is a problem, we need to fix it. Then people are going to start listening more and then want to join on, because that's another great thing is if a movement grows and becomes trendy, people want to hop onto the trend. So in a sense, this would be a good thing for that. And then it could potentially help people to listen and want to create laws or help things to prevent this stuff from happening anymore.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Amber, any final thoughts on this, this one little topic before we move on to the next one?
I don't think so. I think we pretty much covered that.
So
then I might do political, so I'm just gonna
I know, I was like, ooh, hold it back, girl. Let's see. So let us see. The remainder of the hour, so we will discuss what we would like to see done if we had 10,000 people and $100,000. So anything is yours. So I guess, I think I'm just go first now. So I see the last time I like thought about it while you guys were going and you guys gave me a little bit of ammunition. If I had I have to think like right now, like 10,000 people, I think we have more than 10,000 people who care about this movement. Yeah. So do we physically mean like 10,000 people showing up for something? Or I guess like, 10,000, I don't know. But I think that the $100,000, I mean, like in the grand scheme of things, like really, really big, it's probably not a lot. But I think that if we were to do maybe more of like a grassroots type activism movement similar to what we're doing, but with like marketing material, because like we don't have the funds, like we could like Mishigasha marketing material situation, but if we had the funds, like I'd say, like creating like a really good up-to-date website with the facts and the details and like breaks down, like I know there's a lot of good websites like Truth in Advertising, and I know like Americans Against MLMs, and like there's a lot of places that bring it together. But like if we had like $100,000, like we could pay some, like we could get that thing like, and like just being able to maybe do like more like some types like community, like I don't know, get ourselves like entered into like festivals or fairs or things like that, set up booths, do like outreach programs, maybe seeing, like meeting with local, like, like if you can, I don't know, like sometimes like colleges like have professors that sell MLM stuff, but like maybe if you can find, those professors or like a college or like a campus or whatever that will allow you to set up and educate, like young kids, like in their most impressionable age before, like, cause you got to get these kids at 18, 19, 20, because the moment you turn, like it's like, they want young moms or they want young kids, like who don't know what is up yet, because like, or they just want people who are in the dark. Like, I don't even know, like, I don't know, like I don't know, but
well, you see it all the time. People are like, what's MLM? Like, what is that? Like, they don't even know like what multi-level marketing is.
Getting that word out there, because it's they're trying to flip the script to it's social selling, it's network marketing. No. So I think like that if I had $100,000 and we could start like doing stuff like that, it would be it would be the advertisement, the media front of everything, because I don't know, like you can't really like buy a politician with $100K or anything like that. So that's kind of like my thought process around what I would do with money.
My turn.
Go for Amber.
Kind of piggybacking off of what you said, like getting into like colleges and like trying to do education there, like that's what I would like really love to do, because I know for me, like if I knew like there was another route that I could take to actually be a small business owner. Like if you want to be a small business owner, there are so many different ways to do that, where you are actually owning your own business and you're not a 1099 contract employee for an MLM, but you're the one who's running the business. Because I feel like if I knew that before, like I wouldn't have wasted 5 years in Beachbody, you know, believing that, oh, you know, I own my own business, I work from home, blah, blah, blah. But if I knew that, you know, there was, you know, I could go to a trade school, like what I'm planning to do. I'm going to be an esthetician, and I'm actually going to help people and help them feel good about themselves with a 5-year plan of opening my own spa, salon, beauty bar kind of deal, you know, like if we could get that kind of information out there to people who don't, maybe they don't traditionally want to go to like a 4-year university. And if they are motivated to be, you know, a small business owner, like we could, you know, give them those proper tools to make that dream come true, rather than letting, you know, like a unique hun come in and say, oh, you know, you sell this makeup and you'll be a business owner and you'll make so much money. And when, you know, it's really just going to be a big waste of their time. So
Exactly. Okay, so with what we're talking about with 10,000 people and $100,000. So this sounds bad, but we would have to play the MLM game essentially. If you're going to do that, you have 10,000 people. That's a lovely amount to start with. $100,000. Fabulous. So
I love this.
like, oh yeah, this is the thing with, I think I've come to realize looking into this stuff, you have to play their game, but outsmart them. This is like some Jumanji shit. Okay. You got to like go crazy with this now. You have to outsmart the people that have the power. Cause right now, if we're being real here, the anti-MLM community, we are fighting against giants here. There are hundreds of MLMs, big CEOs, and they don't care. They have all the money and all the power, and you have to find the ways to spread the word. So this is how we have to spread the word. You can start an organization, like a legitimate organization, and make it to where it's like a business. So you have your website, everything, consider it almost a nonprofit. And with a lot of nonprofits, you can maybe write off certain marketing things off completely. And you can use some marketing to push out this message to people, try and share it. So you can, have a ton of brochures for maybe in high schools. Okay. You can have an absolute massive Instagram account and have those 10,000 people jump on and like and engage with all of it. So it will be pushed out into Instagram, and you can pay for ads to push out this kind of stuff. You can hold organizations and things like that, make it interesting and entice people to want to know what's going on. Because if 10,000 people are showing up to something, I think most of us are going to be like, what the hell's going on? I want to know. And just using anything that they do in a sense, but for good, and reverse it, I think would be the key to doing it. Because we have to kind of think smarter and think out of the box in a sense, because we are fighting up against stuff that's like, we don't have the funds.
Running an ad campaign about owning your own business, but then actually teaching people how to own their own business.
There you go.
Exactly. Showing and actually
have these things,
and like actually like bringing in actual small business owners, like, you know, to speak, like who are actually owning a small, not an MLM business, but their own small business, whatever it may be, that, you know, whether it be like in their community or online or whatever. Like,
I think it's important to have that information just accessible too. Like if say there is going to be a website, or there is going to be some type of campaign, like for people to like, people, they just don't know where to start. You know what I mean? They're like, okay, I want a business. I want to do something. I want to have my own thing. But they just literally, they don't know where to start. So buying a product pack is easy. Doing that stuff is easy. And somebody does the distribution for you. It's just easy. People like the easy way out. But the problem is that people don't realize that easy is just really like, it's like no good. It's like they're just stealing. So I think like if people actually took the time, like they knew like, okay, this is how you apply for like a business registration. This is how much money you need to get it started. Like, this is how you can fundraise. This is how you can, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know. There's so many different things that I think like people don't know how to start. Like, you know, like you can run a Kickstarter campaign. Like that anti-MLM board game was completely funded through a Kickstarter campaign. It was just an idea that somebody wanted to bring to life. but like you have to crowdfund. Like people just don't understand like where to start, where to pick up the ball to get going. So I think if that stuff was honestly, like, you want to say like free or easily accessible or very cheap, like something like where you can just run ads on the website, and so like you can pay for the website in that sense, but like the website is free information for people to access, because you want people to feel empowered. And I think when you start gatekeeping and charging people to feel empowered is like, I don't know, to me I feel like that's just like, it's false empowerment. I don't know. I don't think you need to pay somebody else a whole boatload of money to learn the skills that you need to learn to like be able to get yourself up in your bootstraps and like figure it out for yourself. Like the internet exists, but like just get it all together in like one easy accessible place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of us, we do like convenience, and I mean, that's a good and a bad thing, but using that, because I mean, we probably see like an Instagram ad here of like, let's say an influencer promoting like their free downloadable something, you know what I mean? If you use that and like, hey, we offer these free courses, these free pieces of information, like we did the research for them. We have everything right here. And it's like, this isn't,
don't join in.
MLM isn't the way. Yeah, this isn't the way. We have options. We have resources for you. We can help guide you in this process so you don't feel like this is it. And especially with this too, I feel like also with something like that, you would have to really push this is unethical and here's why perspective, and like really have everything. Because I mean, remember how, I don't even know when this started, but remember when everyone was like, see the sea turtles, and everyone was getting the damn metal straws. You know what I mean? Everyone was like, it's unethical. I don't want to use it. I don't want to have it. They were like, I don't want to have anything to do with it. Ew, you're buying plastic straws? Outcast. Like, you know what I mean? So trying to give it the illusion of, guys, you don't want to support this. You don't want to be.
Not even the illusion, the real fact. We need to strip them of their illusion that it's a good thing.
Well, and the thing is, that's what they go into, because, you know, when you're getting recruited, they say, we have all the training for you. We supply you with all the stuff. But I think with our route, doing it, you know, we can say, we're giving you this, you know, basically blueprint to be successful, and we're not making money. We're not benefiting this. So we are here empowering you to do what you want to do with, you know, there's no quid pro quo here.
Exactly. You know? Yeah, there's no lingering. And I also, one of the big things to me too is I always think about how MLMs stifle creativity and they stifle entrepreneurship, like real and true entrepreneurship. And you think about how many people would have amazing ideas, amazing products, amazing things if they really were able to like create it or knew how to. And that's like, to me, I don't know, I just always think about like how many people think they're an entrepreneur. And it's like, okay, if you really like, imagine if we really had all these entrepreneurs, like how many creative different products, things, services we would really have at our fingertip. But instead we've got like one champion, you know, like one person, like one group that has a bunch of workout programs, and those are the programs. You know what I mean? Like these shit, like there's so many different options. And I think like if people started to make things for themselves, I don't know.
Absolutely. I also think we need to encourage more confidence in people. That's something I think a lot of people lack. They lack the confidence, and seeing someone in a team, it's like they're drawn to that. So they think they'll gain the confidence by being in that MLM, but showing that they can be confident in the resources that we give and all, like they can do well. They don't have to depend on an MLM or their upline. They can really run with it. And there's so much out there that we can do to help promote future entrepreneurs in our world.
And what if we were able to like facilitate like some sort of like mentorship program?
Thank you.
Setting,
exactly.
You know, these potential small business owners up with someone who's already established.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Smart.
And that they were able to like guide them and show them, you know, the way.
Like you want to own a salon, you want to do all that stuff. Okay, so here's a few salon owners, you know, like maybe they have like a group similar to this, once a month, once every 3 months, once every 6 months. I don't know. This is how you set it up. This is what we did. This is how we got to this spot. So you're connecting people with those passions and those things that they want to do as well. I like that, Amber.
That is literally amazing. And I have to piggyback off of that because I just had like an idea. Sorry. But You know how a lot of the MLM websites or like the team training websites, they have videos. What if you had videos of like, yeah, let's say a salon owner or whatever the case may be, talking about their story, how they did it and how they can do it too. So people can like, oh, I want to do that. Let me watch this video and learn from this person. And then like contact information, how to get like in contact with these people to help. So again, it's easy access. They don't have to talk to a person on the phone because again, some of us hate phone calls. I totally hate them. So make it comfortable for people to get the information.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a high school like job fair online, easy, quick scrolling thing. But it's, how do you set up this business? How do you get going? How do you get the license? How do you get the accreditation? How do you do this? What kind of schooling do I need? Who do I have to get in touch with? And like, I think that could be, yeah, I don't know if anything like this exists. I don't know. Like maybe maybe we like do a little bit of like, you know, internet surfing to see if anything like
But I mean, I feel like we
would
would
make
have
it
like,
early or like,
we would have like heard an inkling or like saw something of
yeah, especially being an
there was
anti-MLM. And also I think there's nothing that's anti-MLM pushing this idea out. So either way, it would be original idea. So
yeah.
if somebody else did it, they're wrong. I'm just kidding. They're not wrong, but anyway, I don't know if that exists. Yeah, no, I really like that that idea though, ladies. I think that could be cool. I don't know. Should we make a website? No, just kidding. No, I think we could actually. I really like
That would
this.
be amazing.
I really do like this idea. I feel like, you know, it could be started as something so simple as maybe just like a WordPress blog. And, you know, even if we could reach out to a few people within different like job spheres or job categories or people who would be willing to share, you know, how they got to their place. Like maybe we kind of just start by like some mini brainstorming. Like I know how to build websites like basic, not like amazing, it's not like $100,000 worth, but like basic. And we could start by just reaching out to maybe like, I don't know where to start, but we could start by starting something.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And reaching out and starting to build a network maybe of like people who could lend these insights to us. And I think that we have the power. I think like especially amongst the people who have come to these discussions today, like the voices that exist here, I think we have the capacity to get out this movement as well and to share these things in a really positive light.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, I don't know when she's gonna pull us back in either. So I'm like, feel free to like keep riffing. I'm like, I know I talk a lot, so I try to shut my app.
Me too.
Well, even like, you know, someone just like off the top of my head, Roberta Blevins, I think she owns her own hair salon, you know, even before, you know, she was in LuLaRoe, but she was actually a business owner before all that. So, you know, she may be someone that we could reach out to as well and kind of ask for insights on things. So
Yeah, like, you know, I mean, like, even I think like my parents, they've owned their own business for a very long time. And, you know, I think the one thing that people get hung up on is that it does take time to build a business. And I think a lot of these MLMs, people start thinking that they're going to start making money in 2, 3, 6 months or whatever. And it's like, if you are going to take that mentality and that time to build a business, if like some of these MLM girls are like, well, it's just anybody who told you that it's fast money, they lie, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like they try to be like, it's not fast money. You have to work hard. Like we don't, you know, whatever. It's like, why don't you guys like that, all that time, that energy? I don't know, like my family, like, I don't know, now they've owned their business for 10 years. I think it is longer than that. But like, it didn't just grow itself to what it was overnight. You know, it took like time, energy, a lot of work, but like that, like everything that they own, everything that they have is because of that business. And it's done them, you know, like great in life. So I think like it can, and like also too, it's like there is nothing wrong with also just like working a regular job. I think that also too, one of the things that I know that MLM and like this anti-MLM community gets so wrapped up into is owning your own business as well, like about being a business owner, and also like this idea of like, I also want people to just be like happy just to work a 9 to 5 if they want to, or
because they kind of, they, you know, they perpetuate that like being in a 9 to 5 is like so ew, like who wants to work a 9 to 5? But like you think some, you know, some people have like who are in those 9 to 5s, like that's what they've worked for, like that's what they wanted to do. And like, you know, pretty much all of them push the oh, don't you want to retire your spouse? Don't you want to retire your spouse? And like when I was a Beachbody coach, like they're like, don't you want to retire your spouse? And like my husband was in medical school at the time, and I'm like, no, this is literally what he's working. He's like literally going to be a doctor. Like what, how am I going to retire him before he even starts? Like it didn't make sense to me. Like it didn't make sense. Like, 'cause that was his dream, like since he was a child. And I just think I really just hate the way that they like really like punch down on people who are, you know, working an honest job that they enjoy and that brings them happiness and that's stable and it supports them and they get health benefits and, you know, they're able to have all the things that they want to have because of, you know, they work for that job and they have no issues with it. You know, they're happy there. They're content. Like it's okay to be content, you know, like
it's okay to like have a hobby and then like work a job or like do a thing, like work, like not your job be your life passion as well too.
Yeah.
You know, like I agree with you, Amber. It is just crazy to retire your spouse.
I do want to kind of piggyback off of what you said, Amber, because another thing that really bothers me with all this is they have a really bad perspective of you always have to be working. You have to have a side hustle. Like you have to keep going. If you're sitting on your couch, you're lazy as hell.
Always.
If you're not doing something
24/8, you gotta be on it all the time, all the time.
Horrible perspective, especially because their main targets are college students, single mothers. They're busy as hell already. And so it's really bad that they're pushing this mentality of breaks aren't okay, stopping isn't okay. And then we have people that are burnout, exhausted. It messes with people's mental health. Like I know I literally have to take breaks, otherwise I cannot function. And that's another thing I think that you would have to try and push is, hey, it's okay to take a break. You can work a 9 to 5 or start your own business.
It's
okay.
Yeah, it's okay to go to work and come home and relax and just turn it all off. You want to binge Netflix? You want to binge Netflix for 4 hours when you get home from work?
Netflix, bitch.
Do it. You know, like it's okay. Like you come home, decompress, and turn it off. Turn your phone off. You don't have, because when I was a coach, I was literally glued to my phone. I was in the hospital after having surgery from a collapsed lung on my phone trying to sell challenge packs. I mean, that's literally how deep in the Kool-Aid that I was into believing that you know, if I'm not working, I can't take a break, even though I'm got a chest tube in my side, you know, like that's the mentality of these women. And it's really sad. And that's when we start getting into the cult-like mentality, which is a whole other topic of discussion in itself. But just to help people like break away from that or completely help them avoid it altogether, like for me is the ultimate goal. Like
never ever
have
to
eat, breathe, and sleep work. You can take a break and relax. Like that's okay. We aren't we aren't built to run all the time. We have to take care of ourselves, because that's a really bad mentality to have for some people. And there's people that are joining MLMs and their upline is putting so much pressure on them and they feel like they're obligated to. And then maybe if they get out, they're like, what do I do? What do I do now?
Feed on that. Like some people need something to be doing, like they like to keep them going. And then like when they're out of an MLM, they're like, what do I do? And then they just join another MLM because like they needed something to do. Like I think some people it's more like an adrenaline or like a friendship, or like some people don't even care about the business. They're like, no, I know I'm gonna lose money, or like, you know what I mean? Like some people, it's like a weird like, no, I like to have friends, or I like to do the thing, or like some people like just like get like into it. It's like I don't know. It's like, and it's like everybody
they do it's for the attention, especially like a lot of the ones like that have a lot of followers on Instagram. Like I feel it's, you know, they're doing a lot of it because they feed off of that attention and all the likes that they get or all the views that they get. You know, it's.
You think that people are making money from this? I don't know. I'm like. And like, I don't know, it's like you want to be like, nobody's making money in an MLM, but like, it's not true. Like there are people who do make money in an MLM. Like I don't know, like you do see some of these higher ups, but then it's like you wonder like how much of it is from an MLM, like, or how much of it was another one. Cause I did a video of another girl from the woman who was leaving Unique, and somebody just commented underneath it and was like, I know about this lady. She didn't just sell Unique. She was also a real estate agent. She also promoted other products, and she also did other things. And Unique wasn't her only product, but she's getting on and she's
she was making it seem like it
exactly like
was.
everything
Yeah,
she's gotten
she was
from
selling the dream. She
her
was
house was from this, everything was from this, everything she had was from it. And it's like, okay, so it's like how many people at the top, how much of what they have is actually still attributed it to this MLM, or how much did they get from their actual, like maybe their husband qualified job, and then they're like, you know, like like this house or everything that we have, or like they leverage their initial wealth to pretend like they've got wealth to make people look like they've got wealth, and then they actually gain that wealth because they've leveraged that wealth, you know, like.
Yeah. And especially in the MLMs where you're able to buy your rank, like, you know, where you, cause I know, like I said,
buy your rank. I'm like,
yeah, oh yeah, you buy your rank. I know Prove It is one of them where you initially, when you're getting in, you spend so much money, you know, you are automatically like a 2-star, whatever they call it, like but I mean, because I looked into it after that whole thing with Beachbody happened and all those top coaches were leaving and taking their teams with them. Like I looked into it and I was like, it says, I think the highest one you could buy in was like almost $6,000. And
Whoa.
yeah.
This
And
is
I
just
don't know if
my
it's,
guess.
and like I said, this was like 3 years ago. So I don't know if it's changed since then, but like automatically, you know, you spend that money and automatically you're put at a certain level, you know, that's give you an advantage over maybe somebody that you're recruiting who doesn't have that amount of money that you put in, you know. So
do they give you like a downline when you pay that much? Like, do you get assigned a down? Like, how would that work if you were getting?
I'm still like researching that because I was planning on doing a video on it.
Oh, you let us know.
Because my cousin is in Prove It right now, and she's done like every MLM, and I'm just like, I wish I could just make her see see the light of like why this isn't working and why, you know, It Works didn't work, or 31 bags didn't work, or you know, Beachbody didn't work, and all these other things, you know. I wish I could help her to see. So like I'm just really researching that because I know you can buy your rank. And some, like I said, you know, even with like LuLaRoe, you know, there was so much product, you know, for like so many levels. Like the initial investment was like $5,000, but you could invest more to, you know, get more product.
Leggings, oh my gosh, paying thousands. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw the package amounts for the LuLaRoe stuff and the actual cost of them. Oh my god, like just hideous, absolutely hideous, the most atrocious things I've ever seen in my life. No offense.
I want to throw this out there since you're researching this. I was told by a lot of people, and I've looked into it, you can buy downlines.
Yeah. Oh, I know for sure.
Which is insane. And I didn't realize that. But apparently something that I learned too is some of the people that are up high up in MLMs, like let's say they're like, you know, done. Like there's someone in Unique that like went over to Arbonne. They just bought a downline. So that way they just were set no matter what. And then they could go on to the cycle of, oh, I'm doing in this business. You can too. And it's insane. And it's like,
so how does that work? Do you buy a downline from a person? Do you buy the downline?
Buy it from like somebody who like left.
Yep.
Or maybe they just didn't, they were just done and they left, and they had, if they had like, you know, a certain number of people on their team, or you could buy it from somebody who has, or someone's selling their second, third, fourth business centers, you know, so they wouldn't have to manage that many people anymore. And, you know, you know, you could buy it for $10, $12, $15,000. So, I mean, and that's what a lot of those higher ups are doing. And, you know, like, you think like I got blocked by Holly Marie Combs on Instagram for that stuff out. Because like she's a celebrity, so automatically she's gonna be set up to succeed. And I was saying, you know, people are gonna be thinking that they're gonna be signing up with Holly and like, you know, being mentored by her, and you know, she's one of, you know, their favorite celebrity actresses, but really she's gonna be stacking them under a certain few that she's picked, and she's gonna stack those people to just to start, you know, really building those levels in her business. So they're not going to be under Holly. They're going to be under somebody that they don't even know.
Mm-hmm. And Monet tries to say that you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah. But they do. They all do.
They all
of them
say, well, we're not allowed to do this. They do it. Yeah,
do
whatever.
it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
If it was illegal, or if it was legal, it wouldn't be allowed.
If it was illegal, then we wouldn't be doing it. Do you think I would be doing something illegal?
No.
My upline wrote a whole blog post on how MLMs aren't a pyramid scheme and pyramid schemes are illegal, and this is why. And like, she would have us send that blog post to people. Like, see, this is not a pyramid scheme. This is not a Ponzi scheme. If this was illegal, we wouldn't be able to do it. Like, it's crazy.
I don't know what you're talking about. We're a family here. Like
our tribe. Oh God, I hate when they use that word.
That word.
So hard.
Gosh, I'm just like, no, please.
Give a preface like that, like, oh, it's definitely like, you know, like, or you got to like send out an article with the business to like validate it. It's like, that's kind of weird.
And then you see it, like when you're looking at the article, you see it's done by like another like Monat presenter or beach coach, or you know, it's not like from like unbiased source. It's like from somebody already within the company.
So what, speaking of unbiased sources, none of them actually have any unbiased sources like to actually share. Like everything they do pass around or share like amongst each other, it's like an article or a thing or whatever that like the company paid for, or that somebody did, or like that, you know what I mean? Like they're sharing, like they have nothing real to like share. And it's so crazy like how much empty nonsense like of articles like go out about these companies, and then you find out that like written by Business Insider, paid for by the Direct Selling Association, or it's Direct Selling News. I'm like, oh wow, Direct Selling News, like cry me a river. You think
and then they pay for the SEOs for those articles, you know, to come up on Google for second, third, fourth. And you know, they pay for that. You know, so when people do Google it, you know, they find only the good stuff first.
It makes me so mad. I hate that so much. It's like, again, just buying a status, just trying to make themselves look better. And I'm like, you guys suck. Just accept it and move on. Like, good Lord. Let it go.
I think that what is that award that Monet wins? That's they're like, we win it, and it's like, you guys bought it.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Oh yeah, the oh God, what was it, like the hair or something?
I don't even. It's like you guys, like, you know how many awards are like bought? Like, you guys actually really think you guys did?
Like, I was just watching the episode of Schitt's Creek where Johnny buys Moira the rose garden.
Oh my gosh,
I've seen that episode.
Oh man,
what season is that? Later season.
It's like, I think it's season 4.
I don't think I watched season 4. I stopped to think of, like, I know I used to watch it like that, but
my favorite show ever.
Oh really? It's funny. I was gonna say, speaking of purchasing awards as well, I don't know if anybody watches The Morning Show, but I was watching that on Apple TV, and there's a scene where like the second episode, Jennifer Aniston's throwing a hissy fit and she's about to go accept this award, and the director of the network goes like, and by the way, we bought this award. It's like, you know what I mean? It's just like, I feel like that's really is how this stuff goes. Like, I think we spend a lot of time like being naive and putting our faith into these companies and like what they say, but it's like, when you really break it down, there's no restrictions, there's nothing that like they can't not say, there's no real like framework around their like marketing tactics. So Even just the stuff that we even just that's not MLM that's on the shelf too. Like there's no, it's all fair game to say that stuff's cruelty free, leaping bunny, blah blah blah. Like there's nothing that really goes
non-GMO. Like I never understood why like Beachbody was always like, oh, we're non-GMO, but we can't get the certification put on the bag because it costs so much money to do like go through all the testing. And I'm like, but this is, if you guys are $1 billion company, like why can't you spend, like it can't be that much money to like get it certified. So like, and maybe it's because the FTC won't let you, like.
Exactly.
Wow, that's pretty wild. I don't know when this is gonna boot us back. I literally don't know how this thing works. I'm like, I thought by now it would have been like, shoot you guys back over because it was 15. I don't know, but we can just keep chatting until, I mean, what time did we start this call?
Oh, good question.
I don't even remember. I didn't even look at my phone.
How long has this been recording?
Oh,
look at that. We're back into the main session. All right. Well, you guys over there. Good chat. I enjoyed this discussion, you guys.
Thank you.
Yes, this is great.
Have a minute.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, I'm sorry I was waiting for the timer to stop and it didn't stop like it was. So I don't think it was.
I don't know. We can just keep talking.
I would love to hear everybody's most powerful solution they think that would be possible with 10,000 people and $100,000. I'm interested for the people that I talked to see which one is their most powerful. I'm really interested for you guys if we weren't part of your conversation and to hear what you guys came up with. So, popcorn, whoever would like to start, whoever thinks.
I guess I'll say I really like the idea of a collaborative channel or platform or something like that where everyone comes together and talks about various things related to anti-MLM, and I love that, and it's something that others can go to as a way to find more information. I just really love that idea. So thank you, Madison and Jubilee. I forget who brought that one up first, but it was lovely, and I love that.
Definitely Madison. She's the YouTube creator. I don't even know what a collaboration channel is. So.
I think for me, what we were talking about in the other group was how like ways to empower people who want to be a small business owner but don't necessarily have like know the way to get there. And we were talking about giving them the materials or like the blueprint of how to like all the steps to get there, and then like setting them up with like some sort of mentorship program with actual business owners who are maybe in the field that they're interested in, and they can kind of guide them and show them the way and show them that you don't have to get involved with an MLM to do this. Like there is such a much easier way, even if you may have to work a little bit harder or invest a little bit more money. Like in the long run, you'll actually be a business owner and not a 1099 contract employee. And just helping them feel more empowered to do that on their own.
Awesome. Thanks.
So I'll go. Yes. So my favorite thing was kind of like a collaborative site or like a place or like a campaign almost throughout the anti-MLM community, and a place where we can direct people to where it's got like all the facts, all the information, everything that you would want to find like really broken down. So like, and I mean, like there are, like I was saying, there are places like Truth in Advertising and like there are websites like that, or like pyramidscheme.com and stuff, but there's nothing that's like young and fresh. And I think that like draws in the type of people that is like Monet or Arbonne or like those girls. I think like if we were able to create a campaign, an advertising campaign that really one of the big things Isabella was talking about was like self-empowerment, female empowerment, women empowerment. And I think like that just not only like empowers people, but like empowers people to like educate themselves like around this topic and this thing, but like makes it fun and like, I don't know, campaigny, like I don't know, even Isabella said, like, if you're gonna, like, you got to do the MLM way to get the MLM results. So kind of
To
like
reverse it. Yeah. Like,
playing by their rules in that kind of sense. So that, I think, was like my favorite thing in our discussion of an action.
Awesome. Thanks, Tiana.
Yeah, I'll just piggyback off of what Tiana was saying. I think, the biggest thing that we were kind of talking about was like a very good organization. Again, you kind of have to create something where you make it trendy, you make it interesting, you make it fun and empowering to learn about the problems of MLM. So, I mean, probably a lot of you guys know, how everyone hates plastic straws now. You're like, save the sea turtles. If you're buying plastic straws, like, what are you doing? They made it and marketed it off to where it was like, it was trendy to know how to help. And I think that's kind of how you would have to go about something like this, because we're fighting against giants. These MLMs have power, they have money and a lot of influence. And if you're able to, use the 10,000 people and able to market it off, make it trendy, make it fun, woman empowerment, protective of women, I think it would go a long way. Making it catch on like that would really help. And because that's what's so great about trends is people want to hop on just to simply be included. And that would actually help the movement out a lot, because then people start asking questions, want to start creating things and start a conversation. And overall, I think that would create more ruckus to make people listen, because we kind of need that, especially if we're going against such big companies.
Totally. Yeah, I think just kind of really similarly to what everyone's said, pretty much, I think great minds think alike. Like, I was wondering about creating something, because, there's so many anti-MLM creators, and I think it would bring together the anti-MLM community, but also help towards a common good, is like creating some sort of collaborative channel where it's like 5-minute videos on, like, oh, sorry, my husband was calling. Hello? Okay. Like, where it's basically like 5-minute videos where it's very informative, where it's like kind of just the facts, but in a very like fun and easy to digest way, that people can easily send to friends and family members who are involved. It's a very friendly, it's not something that they would feel attacked in a video. And then on top of that, on that channel, like talking with experts who do run small businesses, or who are investors, or all of these things that people who join MLMs kind of think they're doing, but maybe they're not actually doing. But it's their dream. They want to work from home, they want to make passive income, all of those ideas. Actually speaking with people who do that and having those videos, and just this collective channel that's about female empowerment and how to actually have that life. Because unfortunately, this whole idea, that's an amazing idea about like boss babes and going out there and like making life happen for yourself and all that, have kind of been taken over by companies that take advantage of women. So I think that would be a great concept. And my cat's trying to knock over my phone.
I will share mine, which I don't know if it's the most powerful, but it's not one anyone has talked about so far. And I do think it would be super powerful, is recreating the TeamZ app completely pro MLM, but with anti-MLM information, not like just the gross net, what you spent on marketing, like the actual things you would have if you're a business owner. And possibly, I just had this smirk of having it charge you a percentage of what you're making up to a maximum amount. And so that's also part of, like, when you're brand new, you might be paying like $1 a month, and that's great because you're going to get to see all of the, like, are you ever going to get to be paying $30 a month like TeamZ? Probably not. And I think it would bring in a lot of the people. You'd get to see all of the money you're wasting, and we would get to see all the money you're wasting because of the data, right? Like, here's all the Monet people are making, and here's your own income disclosure statement based on who's here. So I just wanted to thank everyone for coming to the solution raising. I had a lot of fun. I do my own solution raising on various topics Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Last few days ago, we discussed refugees. I'm taking a break next Wednesday, and the next Wednesday after that, we're discussing cancer. We discuss very big topics, and we've discussed food and education and things that affect our own lives. Anyone's always welcome to do that. But also, if you ever want to hold the solution raising with me on any topic, I'm pretty much down for it because I'm opinionated on everything and usually have solutions. And yeah, and I will stop the recording. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Jubilee.
Thank you. Thanks for
Thank
inviting me.
you.
We're gonna end,
Yeah.
but I was gonna say if we
Oh,
want to reconvene, you guys, the anti-MLM people, even Jubilee, and actually try to put some of these things into action, though, because I don't think we need 10,000 people or $100,000.
So my screen is still recording. Anyone just always stops recording. Stop the.
yeah, it's still recording for me too.
So yeah,
What is
I
it
think that was-
doing?
For me